So, Sattva Tattva. Swamiji says static matter, dynamic activity, or vibrant energy, and strategic existence. All three are one and the same. All three have no border. So, what does this actually mean? Let's start with static matter. Static matter is anything from trees to leaves to the mountains to the plastic to the chair you're sitting on to the earphones or the speaker you're using to listen to this audio. Static matter, anything that seems to be like matter, basically. Anything that seems solid. Dynamic activity refers to anything that's, dynamic. Anything that's vibrant. Things like electricity, things like water, the flow, things like movement, things like the push and the pull, things like energy. It's actually pretty much anything that's energy. This even includes the life that surrounds us, the life breath, the action, or I guess the perception, the processing, as you were, the movement, the active. And then we have strategic. One second. Okay, come on, Toby. Yeah, I'm with my dog. Toby, say hi. Anyway, strategic existence. All the time we are strategizing about something. Usually it's strategizing for why we do this, why we do that, why we're sitting on the chair right now, why you're listening to me speak these truths to you, why I'm speaking to you about Swamiji's truths, why am I speaking into this microphone right now. All these things are different strategic decisions. Anything that's strategy, anything that's I direct direction is strategic existence. Strategic existence is literally you, what is really you. Not what you think as you, as in the body or the mind or your emotions or your ups and downs or anything like that. None of those are you. Who you are is your intention to be. Your strategic existence is you. Your very existence is you. In Sanskrit, there's 3 words for these 3 things, for static matter, dynamic activity, and strategic existence. Matter is jata. Dynamic activity, or the exuberant, vibrant energy. This is Shakti. Strategic existence. This is Shivam. And so, these 3 things, they have no border. They're not separate from each other. This might seem a little bit confusing. Yes, maybe at face value the logic makes sense and all this and that, but there's one thing. Even if it makes sense or not, declare to yourself, Swamiji, understand whatever cognition Swamiji has, let me make that my cognition. I know I'm for Swamiji, and Swamiji, which means Swamiji is for me. So anything that he has to give. Anything that I am, I'm already his. So just declare to yourself, oh, there's a skunk, and Toby spotted it, and he's given the death glare. Don't get sprayed, Toby. Come here, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. Okay, let me start over. Strategic existence, dynamic activity, and static matter. They have no border. They have no gap. So what this means, ultimately, is actually your strategic existence has power over the dynamic activity and the static matter. I'll say that one more time. Your strategic existence has power over the static matter and dynamic activity. So what does that mean? Literally everything around you, everything that you see, your whole life, your whole world, it's like that's all static matter and dynamic activity. Whether it's your environment, the people in your life, the very body that you hold, all of that is in some way, shape, or form has to do with static matter and dynamic activity. Literally the only thing that you know as strategic existence is your strategic existence. So what does that mean? Does that mean you have power over everything? Actually, yeah, it does. Hold on one second. Toby found the skunk's little den, so he's just like, what's that? So, sorry, I keep getting derailed here, but this is nice. I get to kind of just share. So the reason why I'm making these videos is to have deeper and deeper insights into what this all means. The Sattva Tattva. Maybe just by inquiring more and more about what this is, more and more will be revealed. Because anybody who has the Sattva Tattva as a cognition, the very space is Kailash. They're already living in Kailash. So let's go back to let's talk about the relationship between static matter and dynamic activity, for starters. Shakti and Shivam. Shakti and Shivam. Dynamic activity, the vibrant energy, and the strategic existence. Actually, the one reason why I fell in love with Hinduism, Toby, come on, is because of the romance. That's the undercurrent of the whole everything. Literally, this whole thing is just a divine romance, and I think that drew me in the most is the romance between Paramashiva and Parashakti. Yeah, the romance between Shakti and Shivam. Such an intimate romance between the two, between strategic existence and dynamic activity. They exist as Ardhanarishwara, as we see them as half man, half woman, but it's much more than that. It's the very balance of the masculine and feminine principles, with the very sattva being the core truth centered on the two. It's like when you see pictures of Ardhanarishwara, you see half of him Shiva and half of her Shakti. Half of it is Paramashiva and the other half is Devi. But there's a single line in the middle. Single, almost like infinitesimally thin line. That is both. Very existence is both. That's you. That is a sattva. That was a loud ass car. Holy. Okay, that was a Charger too. Sattva Tattva. To learn more about Sattva Tattva, for starters, you can inquire more into Ardhanarishwara to understand the relationship first between strategic existence and dynamic activity between Shakti and Shivam. That's all for today. because I'm almost home. So yeah, talk to you guys later. Love you. Bye. Oh, and yeah, no.